as any other new regime that comes in, I would think that they would take the lesson that the way to prevent being invaded and having airstrikes flown against you is to make sure that you get a nuclear weapon. So I included as a possibility here that this strike, that this military action will actually push any new Iranian regime toward a bomb much faster. The most likely outcome is that Iran is going to continue to behave as Iran always has. Simple fact is that we can go back literally thousands of years and see that whoever is running what we now call Iran always seeks domination in its immediate space. So I would expect that that will continue. It could be that we end up with a hybrid regime of some sort, whether it's Ali Larijani heading it or some unknown colonel pops his head up and turns out that he takes charge, or somebody else entirely. Hybrid meaning military and religious combined, and they will carry out roughly the same policies that the Iranian regimes have always carried out. The least likely outcome is, of course, a democratic society, which is in polity, which is aimed at living in peace with its neighbors. That's not at all likely. So I would expect that this will wind down sometime this week, and then there will start up negotiations again while the Iranians continue to sort out their new approach. Whether Khamenei is alive or dead, it's clear that the Iranians are going to have to try something a little bit different anyway, at least when it comes to the tactical relationships it has with the U.S. and the Israelis. I'll leave it there. Look, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is it really doesn't make any difference at all. Whoever rules Iran is going to act like an Iranian. Okay. Now, as to whether the people are ready to charge the gates of IRGC headquarters, look, that comes about only after it's clear that the security forces are ready to quit. And that's not at all clear to me. I think they want to survive. The other thing that I've noticed in my dealings, my occasional dealings with Iranians, is that they really are kind of true believers in the idea of Persian superiority on the one hand, and on the other, that there's a great religious underpinning to what they're trying to do. And that makes them unwilling to quit. These people are really quite ideological, even the ones who present as westernized. So I don't expect him to quit. I think pretty simple. He will want to say that the missile programs have been wiped out, that the nuclear program has been further retarded, and that he alone has gotten rid of the Islamic Republic's leadership. I think at other moments he will also say that he has at last gotten revenge for bad Iranian behavior at the beginning of their regime, of the hostage crisis. He's taken revenge for the killings of Americans in Iraq, and he will declare victory. Oh, I think so. Both parties will be interested in getting back to the table and seeing what can be done. Look, the Iranian leadership is going to be concerned. It's going to be more concerned about its fate, and therefore engaging in negotiations makes sense for them to try to stave that off as much as possible. And on our side, on the U.S. side, look, if there's a way to make sure that the Iranians are truly unable to reconstitute their nuclear weapons or their nuclear program, then why not? We negotiate with people all the time who are trying to kill us. That's not unusual. And the Iranians are nothing if not pragmatic, at least at a tactical level. I guess I would say one other thing, which is any other new regime that comes in, I would think that they would take the lesson that the way to prevent being invaded and having airstrikes flown against you is to make sure that you get a nuclear weapon. So I included as a possibility here that this strike, that this military action will actually push any new Iranian regime toward a bomb much faster. That's possible.